Hey guys, we're going to be getting right into it today. I'm going to be testing out the new Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. This is how it looks right over here. So just a couple of things before I get started. This retails for $29.50, so about $30. It comes in 25 flexible shades. So I'm just reading what it says on the website. It's instant blurring skin tint in 25 flexible shades. It's buildable, light to medium coverage with quick blur complex for hydrating diffused effect. Smooth texture that layers well with primer and skincare, applies well with fingers or a brush, and humidity, sweat, transfer resistant formula. In this bottle, it also has 1.08 fluid ounces. It has a lot of claims, but I wanted to test this out because I think this sounds perfect for the springtime when I don't want to wear a lot on my face, nothing too heavy, and something that's light to medium coverage would be perfect. So let's get right into it. It says to shake the bottle well, and I'm in the shade 12. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand, and I'm putting 2 pumps. I'm using a brush for this just because I feel like when I use a brush, things just come out more dewy and more natural versus anything else. I think the sponge is really going to eat up the skin tint since it's so super light. And the brush just gives it more of a flawless, natural finish. So I had quite a few dark spots here, and I think it covered it up pretty well. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. You can see the dark spots right over here. And I think it covered it up pretty well. Like, it feels really light, and I think it looks really light. Of course, it's not a medium coverage. Like, I can see my skin through it. I don't know if you can tell. Like, I can see some of the texture. I can see some of the dark spots. But for the skin tint, I think, like, this definitely blurs as it says. And I'm using such a light hand on this. This is not... The brush is not eating up the product as well, so there is quite a lot of product going, and I'm just using a pretty light hand with it. Guys, this foundation or skin tint looks so crazy. I literally put 2 pumps, and it's supposed to be very light, so I know 2 pumps doesn't have that much pigment in it. But I really like the way that it looks. Like, I feel dewy, like it looks dewy. And I usually do put primer. I've started putting primer before I put on my foundation. And this time I did not because I wanted to see the way it's supposed to blur out the pores because that's the point of it. And you know, you can just like use your fingers. You can use it to go, like that's what it's supposed to be used for. That's why I did not use primer. And if you can see, like, I think it did do a pretty good job blurring out my pores. First off, 25 color shades is pretty low, but since this is a skin tint, one skin tint is supposed to like satisfy multiple skin tones. And I think 12, which is mine, matches me perfectly, as you can see. And this is kind of just me like running to the store and just picking something up. So I'm just going to finish off the rest of my face and then I will be right back. Okay, so now I'm back with a full face of makeup on. It's actually been a pretty long time. I've had this on for over 6 hours now, but I finally got to do the check-in. But this is how my skin looks up close. For my base makeup, all I did was add things that I would usually add for a skin tint or a really light coverage foundation, which is mostly cream products, very less amount of powders. I used a cream blush and I used a very light concealer, and I set both of them pretty lightly. As you can see, this is how my skin looks. I don't see any creasing around the mouth, and I don't see it breaking apart anywhere on my face. I do see my pores a little bit, but I have pores, so they're there. But I think other than that, it's pretty much how it was when I put it on. I do see a little bit of shine around this area, but I think I like that. I usually do like a little bit of shine peeking through. And since this is almost like naturally just my skin, I'm totally okay with that. Overall, for 6 hours, I think it's done a pretty good job on my face, and I do really like this product. The shade 12 also matches me pretty well, as you can see, and I know some people had a problem with the shade range as there were not too many fair shades. I read that somewhere. So that's usually not the problem. But since it's a skin tint, I hope it works for most skin tones. And if not, hopefully they add more to their range. I'm so glad that Fenty came out with this, because I think as spring is coming, as summer is coming, I just lean towards more of the light coverage. If you guys have watched my other videos, I really like the MAC Face and Body. And I don't know how these two compare to each other, but these two right now are doing a pretty good job in the light coverage section. And I think they both retail for around the same price. I really hope that you guys like this review. I did really enjoy the product, and I think for $30, both the MAC one and this one is $30. It did a pretty good job with the way that it stayed on my face. There is a little bit of dewiness, but other than that, I do think that it's sweat proof and humidity proof, because I've been out and about today and it's done a pretty good job holding on to itself. But that's it for today's video, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video.